pretty much behind this wheel, it's kind of a horseshoe shaped, and it's a big brass bearing. It's a bronze bearing. They were worn, so just to do a bearing job is usually about a 1-year project. This one took about 2 years. So we kind of farmed part of it out. We partnered with Tweetsy. They do quite a bit of work for us. And it just seemed like every time we turned around, because they actually put, and this sounds crazy, but they call them tires, but there's tires on the wheels.
Yeah.
And they actually heat them up, take the tire off, and then cool, freeze them up, and then put a tire back on it. Well, the tire, and then you turn them down, then once it gets down to this minimal, then of course you got to replace the tire. Every time they'd turn it down, they would find a bad spot in it. So we ended up having to replace all the tires on the entire train. It just seemed like one thing after another.
Is that why the train only operates once an hour?
Well, of course, the ride itself takes 20 minutes. So by the time you load and unload, during the summer we run on 45s on a busy day, and that's almost load and go is what we call it. And it's as fast as you can push them off, you load it, and you're going again. We do load and goes, and we'll do it, if we hit, so it's not because of that, it has no factor in it. It's more the demand of what we have on park. Then yeah, we'll bump it up to a 45, which is a load and go. I've seen a lot of coaster people. They're nothing compared to the train people. And I will tell you that we have people that comes in and they will want us to put, because they collect stuff, and so does coaster people, like whistles, because it takes so much pressure to make that great sound of a train.
Yeah.
So they will actually bring their whistle and ask us to put their whistle on their train so they can hear their whistle. It's not as much as what we used to do. I mean,
that's essentially like a coaster person being like, "Hey, can you put my wheel on your ride and see if it works?"
Yeah. But anyway, both of them come from Alaska, or all three of them. We have 70 and 71, which is the same, come out of the same generation. The park, whenever it was built by Tweetsy Railroad. So the same engine that they have, we have, which is, we have 192, and they have 190 and 191. So they're all sister trains. Or I don't know if they're brothers. They call them she's.
Yeah.
They refer to a train as she this, she that. But anyway, they love these trains, but everything about them is very labor intense and skilled, and it's hard to teach this skill, because it's the new machinist now. It's pretty much, when we went to Tweetsy to try to help teach him how to do the bearings, he's like, everything that you learned all your life doing machine work, forget it, because you do everything wrong. And because like the tolerance are so far out, because stuff has to move and shift, and he's used to the world of 10,000ths, and this is half an inch out, and it's so he would try to get the tolerance the way that he had always been taught, and then it won't move. I mean, it's so
it's so locked in there.
Yeah.
Like, needs to move it and shit.
So it has. It's been a learning curve for him also. Everything about this job on this thing is massive. Everything's big, heavy, dirty. We still fire with coal. Of course, a lot of people, hollers that we're polluting the air and all that. The EPA actually has a guideline for coal-fired anything, and we even fall below. We don't even register on their scale of emissions out, so it's not that. It's not as bad. It might look bad, black smoke, but it's not.
Right.
We're not putting out anything at probably your vehicle that you drive every day. So every year we take the front end off. They check all the flues, do a hydro test, they'll check the crown, just make sure they'll do a lot of NDT work around it, just make sure it's not getting thin. We do filter all of our water that we put in them, so the scale buildup that we have compared to, and that's the old MBICs and the FRAs were built from when they were built, and they were pumping water out of a pond because they just had to pump water wherever they were at whenever they were on the rail, and it would just build up mud just inside the boiler. So that's when those standards were built, and they've never really done anything about them since. So now everybody treats their water, it goes through a water softener. We got an anti-scale solution that we put in. So when we do our boiler washes, it's about, we put a cloth sack over the drain port, and it's pretty much pure water comes out. So we're not losing, a whole lot of sidewall or anything. So.
Right.
Of course, it's just a big pit. We can roll the train over top of it. You have a hydraulic jack that's on rails, just like the train track is. And literally, you can pick up an axle and both wheels, and you lower it out, and you remove this wood cover, and you roll it out, and then we can pick it up. So that's how we get the axles out from underneath it.
Big equipment.
And then we have just an in-house machine shop. It's just a small machine shop and the reason why it's here is because it does most of the work that it's done, but it also does all the work on the rides also out of that machine shop.